Hello everybody, Professor Henry here, coming at you with a brief lecture on the genre of evaluation. There's a couple of things from Chapter 16 out of the Norton Field Guide to Writing that I'd like to call to your attention, and then I'm going to run you through something of an example brainstorming session. So if I open up my table of contents here and just look at what's going on for Chapter 16, I see that there's a little brief introduction on evaluations, an example essay evaluating a movie called The Circle, an overview of the key features of the genre of evaluation, and a brief guide to writing evaluations. I'm going to hop up to the key features really quick, and there's just one here that I'd like to call your attention to. It's the one that my students tend to have struggled with the most in the past, and that is establishing clearly defined criteria. In order to evaluate something, in order to judge something, in order to pass along your recommendations for something to an audience, you need to clearly define your criteria for evaluating your subject. Be sure to pay close attention to how I define my criteria in my example, which I'll be sharing with you in the next video. But speaking of my example, I wanted to share with you how I came up with my example. Ultimately, I just worked my way through the section in our textbook on generating ideas and text, which starts at the bottom of page 207. At the very beginning, I did exactly what the textbook asked me to do. I explored what I already know about my subject. I free wrote a little bit, answering questions like these. What do I already know about my subject? What are my initial gut feelings, and why do I feel like I do? How does this subject reflect or affect my basic values or my basic beliefs? And how have others evaluated subjects like this? And then I worked to identify my criteria. I worked to evaluate my subject based on that criteria. I compared my subject with others. I stated my judgment as a tentative thesis statement, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to show you how I got all of that put together and how I think I've set myself up for success in beginning to write my essay.